There have been a lot of debates about what seduction method is best for you to improve the opposite sex. And so, as a guy who's been in the dating industry now for 15 years, a guy who's coached for RSD, Girls Chase, Endless Options, I figured that I'd help you guys out. Now, this video is a remake of a video I did 3 years ago. It's just been a long time. It's 2025. There's a lot of new shifts in my perspective around things. So I'm going to be going from worst to best in this video. Which methods should you listen to? Which methods should you adopt or invest your energy into? And which ones should you avoid? Now, right here is my list. These are different things that I thought might be good for you to know. Some things that are harmful, some things that are useless. All right, good, best. The higher up you go in this list, the more that method will benefit you. So I've split it off like this. The two top tiers are invest in. Put your energy into these things. The ones in the middle, you should partially invest in to improve yourself. And the very bottom ones are do not invest at all. Don't invest in them. They're going to hurt you or they're completely pointless to even focus on. Winner mentality trumps victim mentality every day. If you want to change results, you have to focus on what you do have control over. And some of these just don't fit the build. The first one I want to go through in the harmful category is black pill. Black pill is, again, victim mentality versus winner mentality. They don't try to help you out. They tell you that genetics are going to stop you and prevent you from improving with women, which is complete bullshit. And everybody in it is so negative and gross. Like, there's not a black pill guy that I've ever seen on YouTube who wasn't creepy, negative, honestly, on the verge of suicide. I just don't think they're people that you should be listening to. The next one is work game. I've never approved of guys trying to pick up girls at work because the other options I'm going to be showing you guys in a second are so much better. Not to mention you're risking your job. There's not options at work. You're like choosing from like Sarah and Sally that are in the desk over from you versus the other methods where you guys can get more women. There's zero options. You guys don't have options and you guys are banking it all on a couple of girls. Not to mention, how are you going to improve with women when you only have 2 women to choose from? How are you supposed to find the girl that fits you perfectly when you have such a limited options base? And you could get in trouble and get fired. Duh. Now I'm going to move to the useless category. Choosing signals. All right, let me explain this a little bit. There's a small portion of people on YouTube and coaches that push that you should only go after girls that give you choosing signals. This is pussy behavior. This is the kind of mindset shit that is going to make you unattractive if you're afraid of getting rejected. You're such a pussy if that's what you're afraid of. And if you're somebody who only goes for choosing signals, it's not easy to tell when a girl's into you. It takes a lot of experience. And if you're a person who only talks to girls when they give you choosing signals, girls even have a hard time picking up when other women are interested in a guy. How are you supposed to do it? Especially with zero experience, you're going to be able to tell when girls are into you? I can't tell you how many girls didn't give me any choosing signals and I approached them and they liked me. This is really dumb. All right, this is the one that got me flamed in the last video, but I don't give a fuck because this is the way I feel about it. But red pill. Yeah, it's dumb. All right, look, I'm going to give you guys everything you need to know from the red pill because it's not all bad shit. It's not. Actually, I would have put it in the all right category if it wasn't so negative towards women. So here we go. 1, women are not this Disneyland version of what you think they are. They're not. They do go for guys who are valuable. The same way that you want a girl that's attractive or cool or this or blah, blah, blah. She wants a guy that is high status, that is valuable, that she deems as being a cool, masculine guy. That's the way it is. Now that I said that, that is everything you need to know. That is it. Most of the red pill shit is like 99% talking shit on women. And 1% every so often they'll throw out a video. You guys don't watch it. If you're a red pillar, you guys don't give a fuck about stuff that's going to actually improve your lives. Unlike my viewers who are trying to get better. So it's a worthless, useless fucking method that nobody should listen to. Now we're going to move to the all right category. These are things that you should invest in somewhat. From this point forward, I have no problems with them. So the first one is Instagram game. So here's why it's only in the all right category. Some guys use this incorrectly. They will use Instagram as their only way to pick up girls. Again, because they're too chicken shit to go say hi to girls themselves. So they try to set up these very movie star-esque style Instagrams, which come across really obvious, versus a more natural, authentic style of Instagram. I know a lot of guys too who push, you should be messaging girls on Instagram. and then completely ignore the fact that they could just go outside and talk to them. Now, if you're somebody who's famous, if you're somebody who's doing really well on Instagram, who's already really popular, it's going to do you really well. But if you're somebody who's really shy, who doesn't have a lot of friends, Instagram's not going to help you, not in that way. However, it is very good as a glue in regards to getting women to stick around, to hang out with you, to be even more interested after you get their information. You want to use it as a landing page, but not the driving force of your options. Now, the next one is AI help. Okay, now this is why I'm not 100% on board yet. Eventually, you'll probably move into the good and best category. But in terms of texting, my friends are a lot better at texting than AI. You guys are going to come across very sterile if using it. Girls are also getting better at picking up when stuff is AI. And it's also even affecting the photo rate on dating apps. It used to be that 3 to 4 on Tinder was the optimal amount of photos. But now, because there's a lot of AI photos, now you need 5. It's okay if you do a little bit of editing, but it shouldn't be so much to where it's glaringly obvious. But again, you should be using AI. I think it's helpful in a lot of different ways. Do I think it is a main form of getting women nowadays? No, because every guy's using it. But it's all right, and it's something you should invest in to help you out with your dating life. All right, now the next one, travel bros. Again, if this is your cornerstone of getting women, you are mistaken. It's not a bad strategy. Going to other countries where you are the popular one, where you have the high status, will help out. Yeah. But if you're expecting to go travel to a foreign country, bring your girl back to America, you should be expect to get cheated on. I mean, you haven't worked on your value as a man. You haven't actually tried to improve yourself. And then the second you get into a country where everybody's at the same status as you, you're going to crumble. It just, to me, if this is your only way to get girls, it's a very bitchy method, and bitchy shit does not attract girls. But as a supplicating thing, again, I think it's very valuable. As a way to improve on the best and the good of this tier list, I think it's a really good way to improve your results if you're doing everything properly. All right, now the next one, event game. Now, event game is another thing that has been popularized by people like Michael Sartain. I think, again, it can be a very valuable strategy. However, again, if you're not a popular, social, outgoing guy, if you have no status or anything like that, it doesn't have legs on its own. As a way to build up on the women and whatnot, yeah, it will help out. But I mean, if you're antisocial, no friends, trying to throw parties, you're not going to get anybody to come. It's going to have a creepy vibe overall. Any girls that do come, you're going to creep out. You're going to scare them off. But as a way to improve upon the good and the best methods on this list, I think it's very valuable. All right, now let's get into the good ones. These are where they start actually getting really tasty and where you should actually be focusing your energy. Day game. Again, day game is a great method. I mean, you're going out and you're finding women in their natural environment when they're not out of, when they're not drunk, when they're not this, when they're not that, when things can be more casual, and you can show them your real energy and they can be their real selves. A couple things though, it's not as many options. When you're out in the day, you can't keep approaching all the time. You can't, it usually takes about, in most places, in my recollection, it takes me usually about 15 minutes per approach. Whereas later on, I'll show you guys some better methods. However, day game is something you should invest your time in. I have no problem with it. I do day game. I like it. I think it's a great way to get girls. Now the next one, SMV. Now this is actually something I probably would have put lower on the list a couple years ago, 3 years ago. However, I've noticed that people use this as an excuse to not work on themselves, they overemphasize how much they think looks matter, but they do matter to some extent. If you're a guy who has yellow teeth, who doesn't have straight teeth, who has bad acne and skin, and you're not changing your diet, who doesn't sleep properly, who doesn't hit the gym, work out. If you're skinny, you don't build mass. If you're fat, you don't lose weight. You should work on this stuff. I mean, like fashion sense. I've seen a lot of you guys have terrible fashion sense. This stuff will help you out in the early on stages of getting women, and will help keep women around longer. Will also help supplement your confidence. If you look better, if you're in better shape, you will be more confident, which will equal attraction. Not to mention, it's an easier value proposition. Muscular 8-pack version of you versus skinny version of you. It's a better value proposition. Now, let's move on to the next one, which is status game. Now, again, we mentioned this briefly with the event game. I do like status game to a good extent. I think that it can be very fucking effective. Now, the problem with it, to me, is the difficulty. A lot of guys who push status game, they say that you want to become famous, rich. This is the most competitive field that you can find yourself in. Fame and money. Those are very competitive fields. There's a lot of people at the very top fighting for this, and it means you have to invest a lot of energy into it. If you expect to be famous or rich, you should expect to get that by the time you're 40, which by then you're starting to get older. You're not really so much in the sex scene. Your libido's dropping. You're probably more likely to want to settle down then. However, if you are one of those lucky few who gets high status, who gets a lot of praise, hell yeah, fuck yeah. It can be very fucking effective at getting very attractive girls. It's a lot of social proof, which social proof popularity is king when it comes to women. If you're the most popular guy in America, you are going to get women. Now for the last of the good section, sexy skills. I love this one. The more that you adopt skills that women consider sexy, you become a man who is motivated. You become a person who works out. You're somebody maybe can handle a gun, who can hunt, fish, who can cook. The sexy skills. You can dance, you can sing. The more sexy skills you adopt, the more attractive you will be to a partner. The more attractive you'll be to a woman. It makes you look as if you have shit handled. You look like somebody who's like, women have always gone for the most talented people. It's why football players in America, or soccer players if you're in Europe, are very popular. It's why they always get all the women. It's because they are skilled. All right, now the first one of the best, night game. And this is actually the reason why I didn't put day game in the upper tier, because night game is a better way to get women. One, you get more practice. You can approach more women. There's more of a concentration of very attractive women who are more likely to be single. I heard the one thing that a lot of people say, that in night game, you're less likely to get a high quality girl. That's not true. As somebody who's been doing this for 15 years, who's been approaching women for 15 years, not true. Not true. If you got more options, if you're talking to more people, you can make more friends. If you're talking to guys on top of talking to girls, you can maybe even make female friends, get more options than women, add them to your Instagram. You can start developing status game. You can start developing Instagram game. You can start developing pre-selection, which pre-selection, if you guys don't know, is where when women see other women like you, more start chasing you. If your guy's going out night after night, who's picking up girls, or is being sexy, flirtatious, who is making female friends, and you're just surrounded by women, you will be more attractive to other women outside of that social circle and within the social circle. All right, now for the next one. Again, now we're into it, social circle. Yeah, so I mentioned it right there, using night game to build up your social circle. You want to find cool, extroverted friends. They could be girls or they can be guys, which actually brings me to that point I just mentioned a second ago. If a girl doesn't like you when you're doing night game, friend zone her. Make a female friend, and you can put her into your social circle, which will make you more attractive. You're more attractive when you go out to a nightclub with a bunch of friends. Or if you go to the nightclub and you make friends while you're out, which is a strategy I really like. But yeah, a guy who's popular is a guy who's sexy. So you want to build out a social circle, and the girls that are in the social circle will be easier to pick up than a girl in night game. True story. All right, now for the next one. Dating apps. Now, dating apps are such an easy way to get women. Nowadays, if you take the time, if you worked on your SMV, a lot easier. Now, if you're not doing good on dating apps yet, lose weight, get more muscle, take care of your fashion, get better photos, use AI to help you improve the photos. Have photos with you with your social circle. Have videos of you when you're doing a travel bro shit. Use the photos in your Instagram to attract more women, to build up your landing page. But it's just the easiest, lowest effort way to get women once you get the structure set up. Once you find a dating app profile that works for you, that gets options on Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge, it's just, now you don't have to put any work in anymore. Which again, I'm very against men not putting in work. That's gonna make you lazy, which is gonna make you weak, which is gonna make you unattractive to women. Not a big fan of that, but if you are looking for low effort, dating apps is probably the lowest effort, high option way you can get women. Again, you're better off if you do night game, social circle, and dating apps. But by itself, it's not a bad option if you're a lazy guy. Now, for the last one, general self-improvement. Now, again, a lot of you guys come across to me on this channel as socially awkward guys. You don't believe in yourself. You don't have good boundaries. You don't have a good sense of reality in general or of like your own motivations. If you work on general self-improvement, you will become more confident. You'll move and speak differently, which will make you sexier. When you go out and do night game, you'll be more authentic, caring. You'll be more alive behind the eyes. You'll have more energy. Now, if you're doing social circle and you're somebody who's in general self-improvement, you're reading books, you're studying, you'll be, again, a better friend to the people in the social circle, which again will draw cooler, better friends to you. You'll be able to not tolerate bullshit, which will make you a leader. You'll be more confident in leading. So just general self-improvement will help you out. Yeah, like I said, I have very good reasons for each one on this list, and I'm going to have some hate over some of them. I really don't give a fuck. I'm right, you're wrong. No, but seriously, I like, if you hate the fact to put red pill and useless, I'm right, like 100%. Red pill is useless after you get down the core tenets of it. And once you do, and you keep following it, now it's harmful. Now you're using it to fucking hate women, which I'm not a big fan of, just personally. Not because necessarily it's like the evil thing to do. It's just you guys are focusing on that which doesn't help you out. And you guys are getting stuck and pulled into this fucking black hole of anger, which anger is not a sexy personality trait. When you start doing these passive aggressive comments to girls because of the red pill shit you take on, or you start treating women more like objects because, again, the red pill shit they throw at you, the women are going to reject you. They pick that shit up. Actually, to be fair, what causes creepiness is treating women like objects, which is funny. I really am not about this whole woke rhetoric. I hate woke shit. But they did nail it in regards to this one right here. This one's pretty true. All right, guys, I hope you guys liked the video. If you guys have any questions, leave in the comment section below. And if there's something on this list you think I should have included, make sure to let me know. Maybe I'll do another video like this. But with that being said, peace.